What is going on, traders? We got a few things to discuss, but before we get into that, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So, in my last video, I pretty much warned you guys about today. I pretty much let you guys know that Mondays are usually boring and they usually mirror Fridays. We did get a little bit of the downside, but then we got a little bit of upside, just a bunch of consolidation, nothing really significant to talk about. But there were some key things that popped up on my radar that I do want to talk about myself. So let's get into that. So if we're looking at the triple Qs, we zoom in. We're on the 2 hour time frame. We see a double top or a potential double top. And why is it a potential double top? Because we have yet to break a neckline. Double tops, double bottoms are not yet confirmed until we break the neckline. And right now, my neckline is at around 440. I would say 439 to really be safe. Why is that? We zoom out. I showed you guys this in multiple videos. We rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. We rejected here as well. And we broke above. And as you guys can see, we pretty much bounced off this area or more so consolidated and kind of went up, forming this somewhat of a double top. So really pay attention to this. Mark this on your charts as clear as day. One, two, three, four rejections, clearly showing how significant this level is. So if we break below this, that will confirm this double top and we could see further downside. As far as your key levels go, you're looking at a move towards 439, 437, 435. I said this in the last video. 433, 432.5 is your key level. Mark this on your charts. Again, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, rejected, rejected. We broke through. I mean, it's clear as day that this is a very important level. So make sure to mark this on your charts. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame so we can get somewhat of a better view. But this is a very significant level at 432.5, 433 range. That is what you really want to pay attention to. We break below that, we're going to move fast. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to move fast. Why are we going to move fast? Once again, we're very illiquid here. Okay, very illiquid in this area. There's nothing holding us back from dropping. All right. If you don't believe me, look what happened here. All right, that's pretty obnoxious. So let me get a better one. But if you don't believe me, look what happened here. We broke through and we fell pretty fast, right? And then once we got back in this area on this side, what happened? We went to the upside pretty fast, all right, showing that this area is very illiquid. Very illiquid area, very illiquid area. We get back in this range, we're going to fall fast. So mark 432.5 on your charts. Can't stress that enough. All right. As far as upside goes on the triple Qs, all right. As far as upside goes, 445 is your key level, plain and simple. That's your psych level. That's your key level. 445, then you're looking at a move to 447, and then potentially you're looking at a move at 450. After 450, you're pretty much in price discovery mode, so you'll be looking at your psych levels like 455, 460, so on and so forth. Now, heading into tomorrow. So it is important to note that tomorrow we do have a lot of news. All right. It is important to note that we have at 8:30 Eastern, we have, PPI data, Chairman Powell speaking, all that fun stuff. So really be careful trading into tomorrow. Now, my personal thoughts heading into tomorrow, I was leaning more, on a neutral side. I wasn't going to really do anything. But if we remove everything, if we remove all these drawings and we zoom in, guys, all right, we zoom in. What do we see on the daily time frame on the triple Qs? We have us a bearish hammer pattern. All right, if you don't know what that is, there you go. Looks exactly like it. I mean, what do I say? One plus one equals two. If it looks like the pattern, assume that it is until it isn't. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. Chances are it's a duck. All right. So I'm gonna go and assume that this is a duck and this is a bearish reversal pattern. This is a bearish hammer pattern. You can call it a hangman pattern. Either way, I'm fine with. But judging by this and judging by what we're seeing on the lower time frames as far as that potential double top forming, we could be looking at more downside heading into tomorrow or maybe later this week. So pay attention to this. Make sure or pay attention to this and see how it plays out. Most of the time when I call out a pattern on this channel, majority of the time, at least 90% of the time, it ends up playing out. So if you've been following my channel, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. All right, so that's what I have on the triple Qs. All right, so really pay attention to this. Pay attention to the neckline on the double top or potential double top pattern. See if that plays out. If we break above this area at around 445, then it is completely invalid. So be on the lookout for that heading into tomorrow. All right. As far as the SPY, all right, same thing we're looking at on the SPY when we're on the 2 hour time frame. We have us a potential double top here. All right, where's your neckline? Your neckline is at 518. 518. Why 518? We go to our 4 hour time frame. We zoom out. I show you guys this all the time. We rejected here, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. So 518 is your key area here. All right, between 518 520 is your supply and demand zone. So be on the lookout for this level. All right, um, even up here. Okay, if we go to the upside, if we just so happen to invalidate this potential double top pattern, which is around 523, we break and hold above 523, then we're heading up here to 524, 525 range. As you guys can see, very significant level. We rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. So very important level here. So if we break above this potential double top pattern at around 523, then we're looking at a move to 524, 525 psych level. So be on the lookout for that as far as the SPY. If we just so happen to break below 518, it can get pretty illiquid. All right, you're heading towards 515 after that, and then after 515, you break below 515, you're going to move fast. All right, I said this in the last video. You're going to move fast. Very illiquid area. You don't believe me? Even look over here. Very illiquid. All right, I know that this arrow is crazy, but very illiquid area. All right. So we're going to move fast. We just so happen to break and hold below 515 where these guys are right here. So hopefully this is all coming together and it's making sense. At that point, I think we're just going to head at least to 509, and then after 509, you're going to be heading towards this guy right here. Let me actually mark it out. So what do I tell you guys? Wicks tell you where sellers and buyers are. We get in this area, I think we're done. Okay, I think we're done as far as upside goes, at least for the short term. We get into the 507 range, we're going to drop pretty fast back towards that 500 level. So be on the lookout when we get into this area. Really pay attention to what happens here because it's going to move fast. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to move fast. We get back in this area. So pay attention to those key levels as far as the SPY goes. ES, Yes, same thing. All right. What do I tell you guys? We're at this weekly supply and demand zone. We rejected it once again. All right. Potential double top pattern. Your key level here is 5240. We've continued to reject 5240. After that, you're looking at a move towards 5232, 5233 range. After that, you get a liquid. All right. You're probably going to drop pretty fast. All right, right here. You get pretty illiquid right about here. You head towards 5,200 pretty fast, I would assume. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of turbulence here. So chances are we're going to need news to really break this area down. All right. But if you just so happen to break above this potential double top pattern at around 5,265, 5,266 range, then chances are you're heading towards that 5,280, 5,300 range. So be on the lookout for that. We zoom out. We can be heading as low as 5165, 5150 range. Why? Because we bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. We came back up, we broke through, or we broke down, came back up, rejected here, and then right here we kind of consolidated within the area, the supply and demand zone. So be on the lookout for these key levels. Mark this on your chart. All right. I don't make this stuff up. Reject, bounce, 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 bounce. I mean, I've been over this like 3 videos. If it's not clicking by now, I don't know what will. So make sure you're really paying attention to this. What do I tell you guys about patterns? If we roll back into this pattern, chances are we're done. Chances are we're done. We roll back into this bear flag. All right. It will be a false breakout because we tried to break out. And the reason why it's a false breakout is because the measured move didn't happen on here. All right. The measured move didn't happen. What is the measured move? So, how do you measure the move of a pattern? All you do, you grab your little line or whatever, measurement tool, whatever the case may be. You measure the opening and close or the opening of the pattern, and then you just drag it to the break area where it originally broke out of the pattern, and then that will be your measured move around up to 5350. So far, we're nowhere near there. So this could potentially be a false breakout. We break out and then we break back in, and chances are we're heading much lower. All right. That's really all I have as far as ES. NQ. NQ, not much to talk about here. The only thing that's bugging me about NQ is just how much room we still have to the upside. So we could get Uno reversed. That is on the table. I'm not against that. All right. That is on the table. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Okay. So we could get Uno reverse. There's a lot of potential up here. I mean, we could zoom out in case you guys are wondering where I'm getting this, trend line from. Bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, and then we broke through. Once we broke through here, all right, it was pretty much a liquid and we continue to drop. And we can actually go to the daily time frame. So this is a better view. All right. So this is a very important trend line, and I would think that at some point we might want to get back up here, but it's really tough to say given with how everything else is looking. But this is the only thing that's pretty much bugging me right now as far as the NQ. So we could get Uno reversed. All right. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right. But as far as NQ goes, 52 350, I would say 50, I mean not 52, what am I talking about? 18 350, 18 360 is your area to look out for. You start breaking above that, then chances are you're heading towards previous all-time highs. Well, not previous all-time highs, but 18,500, and then after 18,500 there is potential for heading towards previous all-time highs, which is around 18,700. All right. But as far as your key level to the downside, 1870. I've said this multiple times. Why 1870? Bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. You broke through. You rejected here, so on and so forth. All right. Hopefully you guys get the idea. But 1870. After 1870, you're looking at a move towards 17,990. You could say 18,000 is your psych level, but me personally, I think 17,990 is your key level. So be on the lookout for that. Mark this on your chart. You can't miss it. I mean, it's clear as day right here. All right. So really pay attention to that key level as far as the downside on NQ. Again, there's potential for more upside right now, but judging from how everything else is looking, it's just really hard for me to see that. All right. VIX. So I told you guys in the last video, the last few videos, 12.6, 12.4 range is your key area for the VIX. We zoom out, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. I told you guys multiple times, mark this on your chart. And as you guys can see, for some reason we gapped up. I don't know why, but we gapped up today out of this key area or the key supply and demand zone, and it looks like we're trying to break further to the upside. I told you guys my target on the VIX is 16, and it looks like we could potentially start heading there. We go to a smaller time frame, we zoom in, we're currently trying to break out of here. All right, currently trying to break out of here. This gap to the downside is kind of annoying to me. I don't know where it came from. I mean, it is the volatility index, but I didn't see anything worth being volatile over. I guess GameStop could be the reason. That's crazy to me, but whatever. But yeah, VIX is currently looking like it wants to break to the further to the upside. So look out for that potential $16 target as far as the VIX. Can we go higher than that? Absolutely. But right now, I'm going to stick to the $16 target. Again, this gap is pretty annoying right now. So I really wouldn't trust it. Okay, so just really be careful trading this week. All right, as far as the VIX goes, we hit 16. I honestly would just not even look at puts anymore. I would just kind of sit on my hands at that point. All right. So that's what I have for the VIX. Not much to talk about there. All right. SQs. SQs didn't really do much, which is why it's just annoying that the VIX did so much with so little. But yeah, SQs is in this very, very tight range right now. All right. But it is trying to break out. Okay. It's trying to break out, but it's not much to go off of right here. It's not a decent sized candle for me to really say much of anything, but there is potential here. We could be looking at a breakout. Very small candles, very low volume right now. So be on the lookout for this. We break above 11. All right. This double bottom, I told you guys about this in the last video. This double bottom pattern or potential double bottom is still on the table here. Still on the table. Boom, boom. Bottom, bottom. Your neckline is at $11. You break above $11, chances are you're going to get very liquid. You're going to move very fast, and you're going to start heading towards. Oh, the neckline is right here. I'm tripping. All right, $11 right here. You break above this guy right here, you're going to get very liquid. All right. And what have I told you guys about the SPY and the Qs and everything about those areas being very liquid? It's the same thing for the SQs. You don't know what the SQs are, they move in, or SQ and VIXs, they move inverse of the market. So if the market goes up, SQ goes down. If the market goes down, then SQs and VIX goes up majority of the time. All right. So very liquid area. We get above $11, we're probably going to move fast, just like everything else I said. All right. So be on the lookout for that. Your next target after $11 is about 11.5. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Last thing I want to go over is GameStop. All right. So last time I went over these was like years ago when they were like GameStop and AMC when they were like some huge thing and everybody was talking about it and I actually was trading them and the Discord made like thousands upon thousands of dollars. It was absolutely insane that week. We did a trade at like $9 on AMC and 2 days later it ran to $60. So we got a lot of people balling that day. So yeah, hoping to repeat the process. I'm not some ape or anything like that. I really don't care much for meme stocks until they become relevant again. And it looks like GameStop is trying to be relevant again. I guess some guy who was dormant, hibernating in his cave for years, decided to come out of nowhere and speak on GameStop, and then suddenly it just started running to the moon. Do I think GameStop is going to continue to go from here? I don't. I personally don't. Please don't hate me. The last time I made an AMC video years ago when I said it was done at like $60 and I ended up being right, I got so much hate for it. So much hate. Apes do not play. All right. I got so much hate for it and turns out I was right. Look where AMC is now. All right. But as far as GameStop goes, it looks like it could potentially head towards $20. I don't see. All right, so let me show you guys. All right, weekly chart. All right, weekly chart. So this is where we rejected at. This trend right here. All right, boom, boom. So I'm not making this up. This is where we rejected at. This weekly trend. All right. Some whale, some institution did a $34 call, or multiple whales did $34 calls. All right. We look at unusual whales. $34 call came in. $34 call came in. One is for next week at around on the 24th, so something to look out for. But whoever did this $34 call, I would assume they cashed out already. I would assume they took profit when GameStop hit $38, and then once we hit this weekly trend, they took profit, and then it immediately started to drop from there. Do I think GameStop is going to continue higher? I don't think it's going to happen this week. I mean, granted, it is going up after hours, but I think here's what I think is going to happen. All right, it's really tough to chart this because it's been dormant for so long. I think it's going to start doing. I think it's going to get this gap out the way first at $20. All right, and then it's going to head higher. But I don't think the move higher is going to happen this week. I don't. I think it's going to happen within like 2 weeks, maybe a month from now. The highest I think GameStop can go. All right, the highest I think can go is about $60. $40 will be my first target, and after that, I'm looking at a move towards $60. Okay, if we look at unusual whales again, all right, we look at unusual whales. Where is it? Is it gone? All right. Well, either way, all right. If we look at unusual whales, oh, here it is. $40 call. All right, $15 million premium, $40 call for June 21st, 2024. But that's cool and everything. But look at all these puts, $20 puts across the board. 20 puts, $24 puts, 29 puts, 28 puts, 17 puts, 18 puts, all expiring for this week. All right, $20 puts, $25 puts, $30 puts, $15 puts. Actually, ignore the $15 puts. That premium is very low. But yeah, um, as far as this week goes, again, it looks like Bears want to get that gap fill out the way before this thing can go higher. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. We hit this weekly trend. Bears stepped in, as you guys can see. Wicks tell you where sellers and buyers are. We broke down, and we're going up. We are going up after hours. I will give it that much. But we do have a lot of news in the morning, so that can easily change. But I think we're going to get this gap fill out the way before GameStop can potentially go higher. Highest price target I'm looking at is about $60. We zoom out, and the reason why, okay, so we go to the monthly time frame. We go to the monthly time frame. As you guys can see, we've been pretty much on a downtrend for like ever. All right, but we're finally breaking out. If we just so happen to close like this on the monthly time frame, there's potential here. At least a few months out, there's potential for GameStop to go higher. What causes that to happen? I don't know. All right, GameStop is pretty irrelevant these days as far as a company. Um, You can just buy your games online now, so it doesn't make sense. But regardless, I mean, maybe we see a retest of this trend line at around $10 before GameStop takes off again. If maybe the market crashes or something, or falls to, I don't know, it just falls, whatever the correction comes in, whatever the case may be, we could see that. Or maybe this candle closes and then we get like two, three more candles to the upside. All right, that is possible. The only thing here is that GameStop needs something crazy for that to happen. Like something really, some guy coming out of his cave talking out of nowhere is not enough for this to continue to go up. I just don't see it. I mean, bears are here. Bears are here. Bears are here. A lot of turbulence up here in this area, towards the $60 area. All right, a lot of turbulence. So I'm not seeing it right now. So if we're thinking like it's gonna go to 200, $100 and gamma squeeze, I'm personally not seeing it. Is it possible? Obviously, it happened before, but I'm just not seeing it. Another thing I want to address: if you are an ape and you're dumping money into these companies need a reason to take off. Okay, they need a legit reason to take off. We have Netflix, we have Roku TVs, we have Hulu. No one's really going to theaters like they used to. Are people going to theaters? Sure. Is it at the same rate it used to be? Absolutely not. Not even close. All right. We are living in very lazy times. All right. So really think about that. So, and another thing, the stock market is not made for you to win. I know that's crazy. I know you would like to think the world is decent and beautiful, but the stock market is not made for you to be a millionaire. Institutions do not care for you to be a millionaire. They do not want you to be a millionaire. If millions and millions of traders have shares of AMC and GameStop, on what in what world do you live in? Do you think they are going to allow AMC or even GameStop to reach things like numbers like $100, $200, $1,000? Because I know that was a target at one point. $1,000. What? Why would they let that happen? So everybody, half the nation, can be billionaires. That would be absolutely insane. So you really have to think outside the box sometimes. I know it's hard to believe, and that's why I made that video saying AMC was not going to continue to go up, and I got so much hate for it. But we have to be realistic here. Institutions do not want you to win. Brokers don't even want you to win. They don't make money off you winning, So we've seen it happen before. Brokers shut down because of meme stocks taking off the way they were. So we've seen it happen. So if you think that institutions, Wells, brokers, all of them are going to allow AMC, GameStop to just shoot to the moon and go absolutely ballistic, and I'm not saying they can't go higher, but the numbers we're talking about here, I just don't see AMC squeezing all the way to $200, $1,000. It's just, I mean, we got to be realistic here. All right. So again, stock market is not made for you to win. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below. If you agree, disagree with anything I say, feel free to comment your thoughts below. I am always open to learn new things as well. Discord link is in the description below if you want to be part of our Discord community. That's really all I have. Hopefully you guys got something out this video. Until the next video, guys, have a good one.